everybody, and welcome to another PRLostGalaxy2014 review on Hasbro's Marvel Legends Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest. And well, since this is the first Marvel Legends review I did in like 2 years, yeah, 3 some years. And at the time I recorded this was right before, a few days before the New Year holiday. And when you're getting this review, it's sometime in the beginning of January alongside another review. Hasbro, once again with the Marvel Legends, and just like what I already did when I reviewed the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Pink Lost Galaxy Ranger, and when I get more of Marvel Legends and Power Rangers from 2023. But at the time this is being recorded, this is 2025 by the time this was reviewed and all. And looking at the packaging per se, before I get to the figure. So the packaging is exactly like what Hasbro was doing when they decided to do, you know, windowless packaging on a lot of their Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe and Ghostbusters figures and Power Rangers, and even Transformers kind of fell victim into this with their studio series. I'm not quite sure, but I'm certain they did this with a lot of their packaging back in the time, because this is when Hasbro was at a very stumbling point in 2023. I don't know what went over their heads and decided to do this for a lot of their brands that year, because I get that QC issue was quite a issue, was quite issue verbatim for them. But for them to do windowless packaging, man, how am I supposed to know what the figure looks like if it's, like, were they scared? Like I said before, they really scared that the figure may not come out right, as opposed to the rendering on the boxes as shown on all of their figures and stuff. When everything is all here, like, your accessories, your interchangeable hands, interchangeable heads, and the figure itself, so there shouldn't be much of a problem. But yeah, this is what the packaging for Beyond Earth's Mightiest figure looks like, and also when I get any 2023-2024 Marvel Legends figure. Okay, so on to the figure itself. Before that, we gotta look at some accessories, because man, this Black Widow has so many accessories. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, if I'm counting this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, like 14 or 15 different pieces for this Black Widow. That's a lot of accessories I gotta give her, though. But I'm not gonna put all of the accessories on her, though, but probably just show off how the figure looks with the different heads on, and also the guns. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do the gauntlets, but I minded, though, by changing out the gauntlets so we get these lightning effect pieces on, Black Widow. But maybe I'll just show that off in this, like, some photos on social media or something if you're curious. So yeah, these gauntlets have certain lightning effect pieces, like, this effect piece is supposed to be smoke, and this effect piece is supposed to be like when Black Widow is shooting out laser fire from her gauntlets. And so you have those pieces, and then the interchangeable hands for, like, when she's wielding guns. This here is a bald fist, because, man, she got, like, so many accessories. And another bald fist. So this is another hand grip, hand for the gun. But I'm certain there was probably, like, another hand I'm probably missing, unless I accidentally threw her by mistake. But what the fuck? Excuse me. Yeah, just all these different accessories. But then you gotta look at all the different heads. Like, look at this head with all the bangs to her, which, it is very Natasha Romanoff of, them to do her face like that, because I just, like, certain that she looks exactly how she's supposed to be based on the digital render, like on the boxes. And, well, I do like the detail on the hair on this figure, and also the detail on her mouth, or her nose, her eyes, eyebrows. But you can't really see much of the eyebrows, but probably like on this eyebrow, but not so much on the second one, because the bangs on the hair is covering up the other half of her face. Yeah, but even though this is an alright head sculpt for her, but even though this is hot and sexy as heck, because I was testing out on another figure, to see how that looks. And then you got this other head of Black Widow where she's looking all aggressive, rough, and I swear that this looks like a, reused Mary Jane Watson head for Black Widow. But although there had been, I do remember back in the mid to late 2010s, I remember back when I saw a few Marvel Legends during that time. I remember there was a Black Widow figure that had a reused Mary Jane head sculpt, but then you had Black Widow with the Mary Jane head, but of course they had to alternate the hair color so that way it would differentiate from MJ to Natasha, so that way it wouldn't feel and seem like the same character, and also change a little bit of the skin tone so that way that also would not be Mary Jane trying to be Black Widow or something. So yeah, this Black Widow head is when she's like really aggressive, and I do like that head sculpt too. So both heads are fine. Oh yeah, we also have a third, so we have to pull the camera up a little bit and look at the figure itself. So typical female Marvel Legends body sculpt, where you got your typical body mold of the female bodies for Marvel and for a lot of their other stuff. The Hasbro has, like G.I. Joe and Power Rangers. So you have Black Widow with this hand, where especially when she does this action pose, and I'm trying to replicate it in a way, but it's not going to be like my best effort of trying to replicate that. Something like that, or I have to like try to replicate it like on the packaging where she had that pose like she always does, and also tilt the camera a little bit. And that's how she would, yeah, because even though since they couldn't, you can't tilt her head up on the head joint because due to how, yeah, I wish Hasbro would do something like this for head joints where they have to allow the heads to tilt up and down instead of being just basic head joints on a figure. And this is the first Marvel Legends Black Widow figure, by the way, which I actually got. And though this was a very hard to find Black Widow figure, and I got it online, and it was very hard to find because I was eyeing for it back in 2023, and man, just especially basing on when I saw this head sculpt of Black Widow, I was like, man, they made her so damn hot. And yeah, but although I kind of do feel like this figure is kind of like, if I get a much later Black Widow, this is likely going to be how I'm going to compare this, and because there's not really much they actually did to the figure, because she's supposed to look exactly like her comic book counterpart, not her MCU counterpart. So they had to base it off the comics or some Avengers cartoon that was probably going on Disney at the time, and I think that's probably what they were aiming at. I'm having problems trying to do an elbow. Ow, yeah, that was hard. That's very stiff, Hasbro. Do the elbow pivot and elbow joints, and trying to... Unfortunately, I don't think you can do much of the elbow pivot on this arm, because given that this arm is pretty stiff, you can't really do much with that arm to do an elbow pivot. So I said, well, screw it. Then we got to do this other arm. I hope... Yeah, it's just like, oh, man, okay, I'm trying to get the hang of this. So the elbow crunch on this arm, same thing, because again, you can't really do much elbow crunching on any of the female figures, because again, when you got a male body of a Marvel Legend, the elbows can't crunch well on the women as opposed to on the men. But okay, so what about the crunch? Okay, knee crunch is all right. It's fine, but even though it's a little sturdy on this one, and then on this leg, same thing. Okay, so this figure is okay, and then as for elbows are not all that. I mean, not elbows. Ankle pivots is not all that good on this figure. Well, it's fine on this one, but I'm just okay. Now I'm trying to get the hang of this, because, man, this is a really stiff Black Widow, though. I'm like, I can see why this was such a hard to find figure, but like, damn, she really was a very stiff and hard to find figure. No wonder. And also, I noticed that on this head sculpt for Black Widow, this piece of her hair can move. You can move it in any direction, like this way or that way. And This head sculpt makes her look a little bit like some other Marvel character. I'm not going to say her name. Okay, so now let's take a look at Black Widow. Okay, trying not to break her head joint. And let's see how she looks with the different heads. And you know, as usual with Marvel, I'm always having difficulties changing heads and just scared them about to break a head joint off or something. Okay, so here's Black Widow with her sexy, you know, bangalicious hairstyle, as saw on the front of the packaging. So, in all its glory. So yeah, and then one more head sculpt to change to how she looks with it. Man, yeah, I'm trying to get used to this with Marvel. But yet, when I have a Power Ranger, the head joints for you know, the head sculpts for a Marvel character can snap on and snap off very well, but when it's their own figures, it's just difficult. So here's Black Widow's third extra head, where, yeah, unless if you want her to look that aggressive and, you know, make her look like she wants to kill you, okay, we'll go with that look. But since I'm missing likely another hand, or I accidentally threw it away, let's change this only gun grip hand. See how she looks with one of the guns. You know, she has both a pistol gun and a regular pistol. But this right here with this extended piece, let's see how that looks with that in her hand. And voila. So you got Black Widow with this hand, just like that. Like, she's ready to shoot somebody. So yeah, so this is all that's there for this figure. And man, I can see why this was such a sturdy, hard to find, stiff Black Widow though. But even though I do like how it came out in some degree on some, especially for some of the head sculpts, but I just kind of wish that they yeah, so I'm going to do more Marvel Legends and try to catch up, because this is the first of many in the first, you know, 2 years, because again, my last Marvel Legends was that What If Agent Nebula. So this has been a while since I last did a Marvel Legends, because I'm trying to get started on Marvel Legends as much as I'm already doing DC Multiverse. If you already, in which, you know, showing Arkham Knight, because, you know, the difference between Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse is that the DC figures are an inch taller than Hasbro's Marvel, because now that I have Best of Both Worlds. You got Arkham Knight, which I just reviewed a moment ago on the channel, and today, also an hour or so less than now, you got this Beyond Earth's Mightiest Avengers Black Widow on the side. So these figures I just reviewed all in 2024, well, in filming process, and also, yes, you got your one and only Power Ranger for 2024, but so 2025, this is a preview of what things are going to look like on the channel for 2025, and I just hope that as I go forward into doing more of everything, I'm going to try to do the best I can to get back to this hobby, doing these reviews of these action figures for most of my favorite brands. But even though this is a Power Ranger centric channel, but I'm thinking about trying to do more Marvel and DC. But I know that these videos hadn't been doing so well, but I just hope that people should know I'm also now covering Marvel and DC stuff. When I'm not doing Power Rangers, I'm doing Marvel and DC stuff. And I'm trying to get back to doing Halo, and I need to get started on Transformer Studio Series, and also return to G.I. Joe and get started on their classified stuff. But so yeah, as a preview, so yeah, this Black Widow figure was okay. I think it could have been better if the joints were not so stiff. Maybe on mine, but again, I could see this is why this was such a hard to find figure. So anyway, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and you know the rest. Thanks for watching.